Hi everyone. You probably don't remember who I am, but I used to go live on this page quite a lot. I founded Classroom Secrets in 2013 with my husband Ed, and we're still here. And I really wanted to update you today just about some of the things that we've been doing. Like, the key thing in this message to you really is all of the things we've been doing recently are because we're so committed to offering you more to reduce your workload. And, you know, that's always been a key theme for us. You might not really know about Classroom Secrets, or you might have been with us a really long time. But we are really committed to providing you with things to reduce your workload, because what's important to us is like the Sunday afternoons and how you spend your Sunday afternoon and how you spend your Saturday mornings and how you spend your time after school. And for some of you, it's with your family. Some of you, it's spending time with your friends or just being on your own. And it's funny because I'm older now than I was before, and my children are 6 and 8, and I'm always looking for time on my own, but I just get followed everywhere. I don't know if you're in the same boat as that, but that's definitely the boat I am in life right now. It's just one of them things, they follow me everywhere. But yeah, so we just wanted to check in and say, hi, we've been doing all of these things behind the scenes, and we've not been great at letting you know what those things are. And I'm really sad you can't see my face, because I even put makeup on, which is something that I don't do very much now I'm 40. But anyway, yeah, so let's talk about the new updates that we have. And the first one is that we've got a new website. Now, you might not have logged on to that, or you might realise that we've got a new website. And let me tell you about this website, because, oh my word, has it been a labour of love. So I have already talked about our new website on multiple lives, actually, which tells you how long we've been working on this website for, which is actually 3.5 years. It has just been a massive labour of love. And yeah, it's finally here. You probably don't realise, but the old website was actually built on WordPress, and so it was cobbled together really, and we had a lot of limitations. And one of the main reasons for having a new website is to help you be able to navigate our resources better, and also be able to use them better as well. So one of the things that we've started to focus on is like a really smart search. And so I wanted to give you an example, and this is a work in progress. So the great thing about having a new website and being built in the way that it is, and having the developers that we do, is that we can make sure that it keeps getting better and better. So this time I typed in Year 5 Science, and I've actually got Year 5 Science resources, and I'm going to tell you about the science resources a little bit later. But some other things that might be of interest to you as well. So you can now download straight from like the search page, which we think is amazing with these buttons here. You can favourite them as well, and you will be able to find them then later in your dashboard. I always think that's a really nice one. So if I just go to this person here and go to my dashboard, then I can see what I've already saved, which is really useful, because I don't know about you, but when I was in teaching, I'd be looking for resources sometimes when I was watching TV. And this means that you can save the resource, but you might not want to print it there and then. And a lot of work has actually gone into making sure that the site can be used really well on mobile. Even though we know that you're probably not going to download when you're on a mobile, you might look on a mobile, because, at the end of the day, we carry them around with us all the time. And we just want to make it easy for your life, really. So there's a lot of things that have gone into it in terms of a better experience for you, but it's just the beginning. Like, there's lots and lots to come, and we always want to hear from you and get your feedback. So anything that you have that you can tell us, then just like send us a message on Facebook, or you can email our customer service team, or you can comment on this video, and we'd love to hear that as well. And the other thing that I think is really nice as well, because I'm logged in, if I just click on the Classroom Secrets logo, it'll take me to my dashboard. But you've got the latest things as well, because sometimes that can be missed, can't it? Like, we might have loads of new resources, but you don't necessarily know what they are. Well, you've got Christmas reading resources here, for example. So if you haven't logged in yet, log in, and you'll be able to see the things that you can do in 3 or 4 days time, when as soon as we get to December, we can do all the Christmas things and the crafts as well. So that's just a whistle-stop tour of the website and the fact it's new. And if you haven't logged in yet and you had a free or paid account before, then just go through the process and it'll prompt you to create a new password and things, and you can do that. So let me show you then some of the other things. So you probably know we're well known for creating maths resources that support a range of different schemes, and we wanted to build on that, really, to continue to do that, but also build on it. And we've been working with a teacher research panel who, it's a group you can join, by the way. You could fill out a survey and you could actually join our teacher research panel, and I'll mention that a lot probably today, because that's a big way we've changed. We've started working with the research panel, really, to create the resources that we're creating for you. And so we have we've still got all of the resources that you know, so we just wanted to show you that, really. So if I quickly show you the navigation, so if I went to maths now, you'll see classic view. You've still got everything that you had before, and recently we've added lesson slides. So we actually didn't put lesson slides on straight away based on some feedback. We've had feedback that you want the lesson slides back, and so you will find them here on this classic view. But also we have our own math scheme. Now, this is not a finished product. This is something that we are working on, and so it's important to us that we don't pretend like it's finished. But it is really worth starting to look at some of the things that we're doing, because what we want to do is really create an offering that you can still use with any scheme that your school says you need to follow, that follows the national curriculum, but also to really take all of the insights that we're getting from our teacher research panel and wider research as well, and make sure that it's exactly what you need to make sure you can meet the needs of all the children in your class. And so that's something that we're really passionate about working on as well. And so you've also got both sides, and you'll see that developing throughout the year as well, with more resources being added as well. Now, next week, Katie's going to do a live. She's helping me today. I'll probably be helping her next week. And she's going to go into more detail of all the different resources in maths. But I did want to just give you a little bit of a whistle-stop kind of tour, really. And something that I think is worth pointing out, which I will do if we just go back here. I want to show you year 1 and year 2, because we know that when we started doing year 1 resources for maths, we didn't do it very well. We had like too many words on a page, and it was difficult for the children to read. And I think, you know, what's really interesting for me as well is we created our year 1 resources before my eldest went into year 1. Now my youngest is in year 2, and so it's something that I've seen like really really up close and personal, really. And so we've worked really hard to change our maths resources, and I just don't think we're very good at talking to you about it. We're not very good at telling you. And so I wanted you to know, really, that what we're actually doing in terms of the maths resources for year 1 and for year 2. And so if you just have a quick look here and look really closely, you'll notice that we've taken the words out, really. Obviously, yes, you've got some words there, but we've really simplified them and made them much more user-friendly for year 1. And so if you have a teacher in your school who, maybe your school's got a Classroom Secret subscription, but you don't use maths resources for year 1, it's worth looking, because you could be not using resources just because you don't know that they're there. And so I would say, if you are a teacher who maybe isn't in year 1, if you're in year 1, absolutely download one. But if you're not, and you think you know somebody who would find it helpful, then please pass it on. I shouldn't really say this as the founder, but if you've got a subscription, just download a couple of resources and show them and share them. You've got my permission to do that, but just don't do that all the time because that's really naughty. Anyway, so it's a different look and feel, isn't it? You'll see that we've got these new resource lines, and I'm not going to go into that in loads of detail, but I do want to just quickly show you. So obviously we're on the CS Maths scheme, and let's just go back to a different year group. But I wanted to show you some of the resources that we have as well, like Maths in Minutes. So if I just flick here to this one, hopefully you can see that as well. We've got brand new types of resources that you might not realise we have. They don't show always in the classic view. So it's worth searching or looking as well in the CS scheme view as well for these new resources that we have. So these are Maths in Minutes. You can print them out, or you can put them on the screen, but they're designed to be like early morning work or settling activities, but basically it's a recap of different things. And we had a big call for fluency resources through the teacher research panel that you could join if you fill out the survey, which is in the comments. And so we've got this big drive on fluency. So that's one of the fluency resources. Another one is rapid arithmetic. This is, you know, you could print it out, but it's quite obviously made for the board, and it's got 3 different levels. You choose how that happens. Some teachers decide that the children are going to move through set A to set C. Some say children can choose their own. Some say you're on set B, you're on set A. It's just you do it how you want to do it, and that's the way we've always done things at Classroom Secrets as well. You know, it's not prescriptive. You're the expert in the classroom with the children. You know, we don't know them. The best thing you can do is choose the right thing. Another one resource line that we have is the Fluency Matrix. Like, this is my favourite because it's clever, and I like that kind of thing. I like cleverness in a resource, and actually it kind of works diagonally, and it gets incrementally harder, like differentiating the concept in tiny steps for the child, which I just think is really, really clever. So that is another resource type as well. So even if you're not necessarily using our all of our resources in the new maths scheme, then it might just be that you look for these resource types and you use them to supplement the concepts that you're teaching, because I think they've just been really cleverly thought out, and we've worked with the teacher research panel to create these resources. And just another thing that I need to show you as well is mistake investigators. So this is just for year 6. We are looking at other year groups, but in the new year we're going to have more of these for year 6, and basically it's that the questions have been done wrong, and children have to figure out why that is. But we've got some overviews as well for maths, so you will be able to see all of the small steps that we have. And the reason why this is great is what we've tried to do is, one of the bits of feedback that we got from the teacher research panel was that it's really hard sometimes to fit everything in that you're doing, and we wanted to make sure that there was flexibility in the school year to do the nativity. I'm going to a nativity in a few weeks, and you know, maybe you've got one as well, or what about the end of the school year? There's all these things that we need to fit in, and so we very carefully tried to think about making sure that we don't have too many weeks that are taken up, and that we give some flexibility for consolidation as well. And so you can have a look in those as well, and we'll be expanding the resources that we're offering to meet these overviews as well. And yeah, and one of the main reasons actually was flexibility. People wanted flexibility, but also not to feel like they're rushing to get things through, especially like when you have children off sick and you've got on a school trip, etc. Have you used our science resources yet? Because we do have some free ones, so even if you don't have a paid account, you don't have to pay to try it out. It's definitely worth signing up and trying one out. So these resources have been developed by Hannah and also our teacher research panel as well. We've asked a lot of questions, and you know, we've sent them to be looked at and tried out and things, and Some key things really from our scheme is that everything's on the PowerPoint pretty much that you need, except for like practical resources. So even the activities you'll find on the PowerPoint. We've got an overview as well, which tells you everything you're doing in each lesson. We've got a post unit and a post assessment unit and a pre-assessment unit as well. And photos are really important to us because in science things are real, and so you'll find lots of photos and not really animations where possible, because we think it's really important to be real for science, and so that's one of our beliefs really. But this has been developed with our teacher research panel. We are hoping to, well, we're definitely going to add more resources to this. We'd love to know how we can improve, what your suggestions are, and what is coming in the new year is sustainability. And what's really exciting about this is going to dovetail into our science scheme. So we've done quite a lot of research on this, and we're very carefully choosing certain units that will then be able to probably taught in a range of different years, but will very carefully dovetail into certain topics. For example, if you just taught electricity, then there might be a sustainability unit that goes really nicely after that, but it doesn't have to be used then. So that's quite an exciting thing for us as well. So next one is writing. In some ways I can't believe all of the things that I'm showing you, because I just used to show you maths, and we've got so much more than maths now, and we're working really hard at it, and we're working hard as well to increase the speed that we're getting these resources out. Look out for that one as well, and know that we're really committed to making sure that we get a range of subjects and we get them at speed. So writing resources, these are linked to published texts, so texts that you probably already teach or not, and you'll get a range of resources for each text. You don't have to use them, but what you do get is an overview. Let me just scroll to find one. So you've got a unit guidance here. The idea is that there will be a certain writing task at the end, and you can pick and choose. There's that flexibility again, based on the needs of your class and perhaps their interests as well, the different activities that will help them get there. And there's guidance on that as well, especially if you're a newer teacher and you're not sure. When I was teaching, writing was my worst thing. Maths I understood, even though I'm a better writer than I am a mathematician, but writing was a formula I could understand. Maths was a formula I could understand, and writing was a lot harder to figure out how to help children to write, really. So yeah, this has been thought out really, really carefully, and we're adding published texts all the time. So it's worth looking at what we've got for your particular year group. There's absolutely tons of them. So yeah, that one is writing. Reading as well. So we've got new reading resources. If you've been with us like forever, you'll remember that the first resources to really take off at Classroom Secrets were the guided reading packs, and I remember writing my first one. It was actually a book I wrote for parents of the children I was tutoring, because I was a tutor for a while, and it didn't really take off, and I just thought, oh, maybe I should make this into a pack for Classroom Secrets, because I'd started the company about 6 months before. And yes, it was a hit. So reading's moved on quite a bit from those days. So now we've got Readers Theatre. So these are designed really to do 1.5 term, and it's all about fluency in reading and helping children really to practice a text rather than just reading it once. Like, practice how to pronounce the words, the intonation that they should have, and perform it together really. And you know, you get everything you need as part of it. We help you know what you're supposed to do with it. So these are really helpful. You should try one out. Just really good to try. And also we've got Rise and Read as well. So this is another thing that you could just do as a starter activity or in a morning as the children are coming in. And what we've tried to focus on with these resources is like the variety of different texts. Sometimes you'll get a quote. Sometimes it's an image. It's not just a story every single time, just to help them increase the experience that they're getting as well. I can't tell you how pleased I am that I'm coming to the end of all the things that I needed to show you. But I'm just so sad that you can't see my face, and it's just like this weird voiceover, and it's very static. But if you did listen to that without actually seeing who I am, then yeah, thanks so much for staying on, really. But I just want to remind you that there's more to come. In the new year, we're going to be bringing out geography and sustainability and history. In the spring term, they're not going to be like necessarily like day one, all of them. But we're working really hard on that, and we're working hard to increase the speed of those resources. So it would be a great time to join our teacher research panel, because perhaps you're the history lead and you really want us to know some things that you've realised through your history teaching, and you want us to consider that in our research, because we put a lot of work into planning these schemes, and it would be great to hear from you. So if you've listened all this time, thank you for listening to me ramble on. Yeah, we really hope to see you on the new website soon.